Hey, cousins. Y'all better go over there and show the podcast episode of Callie Strong and Wendy Chew some love. Y'all better show them some love. And with that being said, I'm so what's the word? It's fascinating. I watched a particular podcast. I'm not going to say their name. It is a black dude. That's all I'm going to tell you. And they spent, 3 weeks railing Paul Levinsky and the WWE in their ass. I'm talking about all in that motherfucker no lube. Hemorrhoids are abound. That's how hardcore they was going. And then I go ease my ass over because I said, let me see, because I know they saw what I saw. And this person said, you know what, this episode was solid. And then I'm sitting there like, was we watching the same show? Okay. So maybe we wasn't. Maybe he was watching a different Raw. And I clearly was watching a different Raw because I'm not really seeing where the solid was. But okay, we're going to go through it. I just wanted to just throw that out there because I see a lot of the guys and the gals that's doing these reviews. They're singing a different tune. When one episode is decent, that don't mean you let up off the gas. What did Jacob say? I'm all gas, no brakes. Nah, that's what you're supposed to be doing. What's happening here? See, that's why Wrestling Colors functions the way it is, because I'm all gas, no brakes, motherfucker. I ain't never letting up off a Paul Levinsky thick ass neck. You understand? Give a fuck. If it's 6 fucking good episodes, I need 16 of them motherfuckers consecutive. You understand? With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into this review, shall we? I got more questions. Hopefully the cousins can get in the comments and answer them, because WWE Raw for Cinco de Mayo, the Western holiday, because apparently that's not really celebrated in Mexico. Took down a place at the Shy Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. It was very, very, very vanilla. Okay, that audience was really, really vanilla. And not like vanilla bean, just pure vanilla. I'm gonna just leave it right there. How did we get the show started? It's just me, oosh. Day one, 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 it's just me, oosh. Run it back. You want me to eat? Yeah. It's just me, oosh. Day one, it's just me, oosh. Motherfucker was holding on to the rope, sweating. You hear me? Breathing hard. Cause it's just him, oosh. Jey Uso got the gold bedazzled main event chain on. Can somebody get Carmelo Hayes to Jey Uso's jeweler? Cause what Carmelo Hayes is walking around with is some bullshit. You understand? Gold and black is the theme for Jey Uso. Jey Uso in the ring, and he said, the World Heavyweight Champion, main event Jey Uso is now in your city. Look, I'm here. I know Logan Paul is here, so let's stand on business tonight, Oos. Where you at? The last time I heard stand on business used wrong was Mia Yim after she got the shit slapped out of her by Tiffany Stratton. That was her way of introducing herself to the main roster. And fucking Mia Yim was like, ooh, you gotta give me a match tonight, Adam, because it's gonna be business I'm standing on. I was like, oh my God. So I kind of got shades of that because I said that's not really, I don't think that's how we're not gonna stand on business. I'm standing on business. That's how I'm gonna stand on business tonight. Either way, Paul Heyman came out there. Let me tell you something. Paul Heyman got a lot of that bulge. What's that? A male fupa? I know his dick is gone. Paul Heyman getting really big, and it is of a concern. It is of concern. Paul Heyman said, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I came here tonight not to disrespect the World Heavyweight Champion, but I dragged myself all the way down here to Omaha, Nebraska, because I wanted to say something straight to the face of the champion." Jey Uso said, OG, you got a lot of balls stepping in the ring with me after what you just did to my family. And that right there, Paul Heyman crashed all the way out. And it was gross. It was an awful display. It was nasty. I couldn't focus on what he was saying because he was spitting all over the mic. I thought his eyeballs was going to pop out. I thought that man was going to have a coronary in the middle of the ring. His head turned red like a tomato. He was like, it was outrageous. Outrageous. But with all he said, he was unloading. He was trauma dumping all on Jey. He said, for some highlights, I wanted my best friend in the world to overcome the adversaries that he has faced in his life and be in his corner at WrestleMania. What did Roman Reigns think I was going to do? Sell his secrets? So he's telling Roman Reigns, what you thought I was going to do? Then he went on to say, I was left to the hood line. They put me through a table. They almost took me all the way the fuck out. I thought he was coming back to handle back, to take care of me. This motherfucker came back for the Ulafala that we never even got finished that. That shit was handed to him, and I'm still over here limping and shit. But I'm the one that portrayed Roman Reigns. That motherfucker left after he lost the title to that bitch-ass Cody Rhodes and just left me in the wind. And I'm on my knees out here. He didn't take me on the goddamn yacht. I got to deal with not only some Samoans, but some goddamn Tongans. Like, and you out here telling me what I did to your family? He said, man, fuck you, Jey. And fuck the horse you rode in on. Jey Uso was like, are you okay? Like, I just want to know what the fuck this got to do with me. Paul Heyman said, you know what? You're right. This doesn't have anything to do with you. You think coming out here every night and yeeting with the audience and putting in the best ring of performance is all that it takes, but it's not. That's not what the title's about. So I'm just saying, you a bad bitch. Won't you go ahead, put the title on the line, pick a time, place, anywhere you want. We're going to show up and take that motherfucker off you because you a bad bitch. You not a top-notch bitch like Seth. You a cute little bitch. You know, you got a little zhuzh, you know, you dripped out or whatever. You know what I mean? It's cute. But Seth is on another level, so he needs to take that title back, and you just tell us when we want to do it. Jey Uso got riled up. He said, Hold up, OG. You can't help me. But did he just say, he said, I need help, Omaha. Omaha, now you can say yeet. These motherfuckers ain't even do it right. I'm thinking like, y'all couldn't even yeet. He gave you permission to yeet, and y'all didn't even yeet. He said, any time, this is Omaha, yeet. Any place, yeet. Anywhere. He looking for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. Well, Omaha, yeet. It's on tonight. No one yeeted. 4 learns. 1 word. Yeet. And the people didn't yeet when he yeeted. So it sounded like super weak. And I was like, now is the time to yeet with all your might. And you fucked up the whole cadence. Let me tell you something. This was a lot. And it was 30 minutes. It was 30 minutes of all of that just to get to a match to happen tonight. All of that was to set up the main event between Jey Uso and Seth Rollins at the closing of the show. Penta versus JD McDonagh with the Judgment Day. First of all, what I don't like, well, y'all already know I don't fuck with Pat McAfee. But what I don't like is the commentary literally like roasting the goddamn talent. Pat, look at JD McDonagh. He got a big old bald head. Look at his head shaped like a chicken nugget boulder. He got a head like somebody hit it with a bat. He got a head like he got encephalitis. Look at his head. Like, can you just call the fucking match? Matter of fact, where Gunther? Gunther didn't even give me what I could feel, but we gonna get there. You know, Penta came out, did his little two-step, said on middle. JD McDonagh, great, he feeling good. You know what I mean? His head came off his shoulders a couple weeks ago. Now I got screwed back on. Okay? A lot of interference. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Why the fuck is Chad Gable out there attacking Penta from behind? I don't know. Maybe because he's El Grande Americano. Who knew? Who knew? A Mexican destroyer was pulled out, and Penta picked up the pinfall. We got Grayson Waller back there, greased up. He just greased his chest up. Grayson Waller's going to need to get with Randy Orton and get a tutorial. He need to be tutored on a tutorial on how to grease his body down to the gods, okay? Randy got them thighs right. If you're going to grease up your chest and stuff, you need to do it properly, evenly, so it's all distributed, not just the middle in the nipple section. Anyway, Adam Pearce, he was back there too, looking like a bull-headed dummy who don't have no protection for his talent. And Waller was like, listen, I had scheduled a singles match, and Austin Theory was like, oh, you got a match? What's going on? He was like, no. I got a match for you. You got a match tonight. I talked to Adam Pearce to get you a match tonight. And Austin was like, oh, word, cool. Who the match going to be with? And Grayson was like, you know what, don't worry about it. It's going to be a surprise when you get to the ring. It's going to be a good time for everybody. Pearce, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to see you in the ring. You know, whoop, whoop, whoop. And we go straight into the second match. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller is already in the ring. Austin Theory is like, yeah, his haircut looked like Dennis the Menace from the comics. Look up Dennis the Menace from the comics. And he got the same goddamn haircut. Who cut Austin Theory's hair? Why did you do that little scoop in the front? Anyway, Austin's waiting. All of a sudden, we get the and he looking at fucking Grayson like, you for real? You got this pale ass redhead motherfucker coming out here. I got to deal with this shit. And he got the six-pack back. Let me tell y'all something about Sheamus. Sheamus said, you ain't going to be calling me too many burgers and fries, motherfucker. I'm about to get back up in the field. Sheamus came out there with an 8-pack. Sheamus came out there. He done did what he had to do down to the goddamn gym. Look good, Sheamus. But what's his name? Grayson Waller rolled out the ring, and he looking around like, my bad. But he like, I wasn't about to fight him. So Austin Theory get his ass whooped, fucked up, kicked hard. Y'all know Sheamus hit hard as fuck. And Sheamus went ahead and picked up the win, which is fantastic. But I'm going to need somebody to go ahead and figure out what Austin Theory did to deserve what we got going on. And furthermore, do we really give a fuck about this tag team breaking up? Because they've been breaking up for about a year now. And either Austin Theory is developmentally delayed and haven't fucking A-Town down this goddamn kangaroo, or something's going wrong. Because if I had the opportunity to write that, these two motherfuckers would have been ate each other up long time. Breaking news. Dominic Mysterio will be putting his Intercontinental Championship on line against Penta at Backlash. Penta versus Dominic at Backlash, y'all. Isn't that exciting? AJ Styles is down to the fuck house. R-Truth came with him and with directions. He said he's here to give Dom a friendly warning. He doesn't care who wins at Backlash. He's coming for the Intercontinental Championship. That is what I believe AJ Styles says. Dominic calls AJ an old man. And you know what? From the back, AJ look young because he got that long, pretty hair and he got a fat ass. But from the front, it's not like fat like Jay's. It's like white man fat. From the front, when he turned around, it's like, oh, you're aged. AJ is looking forward to beating Dominic's ass. Dominic started complaining about how hard it is to be a champion. And Finn Balor was like, you know what? Let me go out here and, do what I got to do because the shit you got going on. I don't have time for it, and I got stuff to do. So there you go for that. Chad Gable runs into the New Day. Kofi Kingston says it's time for Gable and American Made to get respect. First of all, American Made, that whole stable is absolutely unattractive. There's nothing attractive about that stable. That's why they're not getting over. That's why, if you didn't know. Anyway, Xavier Woods, his hair, it was braided on the side, and he had a curly bouffant in the front. I liked it. I did. I was really focused on that curl that Xavier Woods has. The Creed brothers should get a shot at the World Tag Team Championship instead of the War Raiders. And Becky Lynch walked by, and, I call Charlotte Mother Bone. So for anybody that's new here, the reason why Charlotte was deemed Mother Bone is not because her clothes and her ring gear is super baggy, but because she reminded me of a bone-dry femur, right? Now, here comes Becky, and Becky's just as bony and real gaunt. So I'm going to have to deem her Mother Gaunt. Becky, going forth, is now Mother Gaunt. So if you don't know who I'm talking about Becky. Becky walked by because she got things she got to deal with when she gets to the ring. And the New Day said, you know what? You need to get you some respect. This is a bunch of bullshit. You're the GOAT, Mother Gaunt. And she said, you know what? You right. Let me go ahead and get this shit together. Then we go straight into a Becky, Lyra, Valkyria segment that, when I tell you, the way I rolled over. Now, I have a California king-size bed. I rolled over so many times that I hit the floor. That's how fucking boring this goddamn segment was. And I'm sitting here like, did anybody watch what I watched? These motherfuckers is like, that was solid. What? Becky Lynch basically came out and she said the word garbage probably about 7 times. And then she said Lyra Valkyria she not like old garbage like Bailey. She is recycled garbage. Okay? And she said, basically, bitch, you wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for me. And you decided that you was going to mix recycled garbage with regular garbage, and that's a violation of state laws. Because when you push that trash can to the end of the driveway, it's a blue trash can and it's a gray trash can. That shit's supposed to be separate. And when the people open up the trash can, they see that it done mixed up, you gonna get a ticket. Okay? And Becky Lynch is the bitch writing tickets tonight. And then we get Lyra Valkyria. And the audience is saying, whoo, whoo, whoo. And you know what I said? I said, you know what? Paul Levinsky is in the back on the phone. And he's going to think that this bitch, Lyra Valkyria, is over with the crowd because these drunk-ass Omaha Nebraskans, or whatever you call them, is in the audience. Somebody said, woo, woo, woo. But I think they're saying woo, woo, woo because they just want to have fun because this shit sucks. So anyway, Lyra said, did you just call me recycling? And Becky was like, yeah, bitch. And Lyra said, you know what? I'm not recycling. You a old bitch with the same little spick. You ain't changed. You come out here with them goddamn liquid leather ass pants, and I know the butt stink, and the only person that likes that is Seth. Okay? You ain't doing nothing different. You talking shit about Bailey. Bailey's the one that helped me. Bitch, you left. You lost the match down to the pay-per-view and disappeared, and me and you was working on some things. I beat your ass down at the NXT. Got the title back from you. Your ass just rolled off somewhere into the sunset. And here you all calling me garbage? Bitch, you got life fucked up. You understand? You may have shattered glass ceilings for women. I'm forever grateful, but you left all the broken glass on the ground, and I've been stomping on that shit with these thick-ass boots and these little tiny-ass skirts with my drawers up my ass for the last 2 weeks. And now you want to come to work? Bitch, please. Becky said, ho, wait a minute. She said, you know what? When I was gone, everybody had the best careers of their life. I left and I gave the girls time to breathe. rise to the occasion and do the damn thing. It is not my fault that these hoes is lazy and don't do what the fuck they need to do. Sports Illustrated said I am the GOAT when it comes to the shit that goes on in this goddamn ring. You understand? So I don't give a fuck what you got to say or anybody else got to say, because when we get the backlash, I'm going to break your little stinking ass over this sharp ass knee. You understand? Mother Gaunt has arrived, bitch. Lyra Valkyria said, oh, okay, Sports Illustrated, huh? Who gives a fuck? Like, I hope you know, as long as I'm here, you're going to be number 2. She said, you know what? Mother Gaunt said, ain't never going to be no number 2, bitch. I'm always going to be number 1. I am Mother. You understand? I whooped Mother Bones. And now I'm about to beat your ass. You get ready for this. And then they got into some fisticuffs. The shit looked really sucky and fake. And they rolled around the ring and everything. And I was just looking at Becky like, damn, her elbows is dumb sharp. And then that was it. It was a night wing took place. Becky laid out. And we got Lyra Valkyria standing tall with that tiny skirt. And that communicated to me, Becky Lynch, Mother Gaunt, will be taking that title off of Lyra Valkyria. And I'm going to tell you why she should. Let's go ahead and elevate this title. Let's go ahead and elevate the title and go ahead and get into a deep situation with Lyra and a deep situation with Bayley. Let's make this shit entertaining, okay? Moving right along. Iyo Sky coming out. She's super excited. Roxanne Perez was already in the ring. And I said, these two bitches is tiny. This should be good. It should be fun. No, it didn't. When I got up off the floor after I had rolled out the bed from Becky and Lyra, I was kind of like a little restless. And I was trying to be, pay attention. But I ended up on the floor on the other side of the bed. I said, God. So I just went ahead and took a nap during this whole shit. And I really passed out again when I set up to see what was going on, and the girls was like rolling back and forth and stuff. Child, I saw that damn Julia with them weak ass blue box braids that clearly her little sister did. I said, get that bitch out the ring. Why is these two hoes mixing it up? Can we get some type of understanding in the storyline? What is going on? And you know what I noticed? And I hate to say this. I hate to say what I noticed. Rhea Ripley's presence was felt. Rhea Ripley is so much embedded in Raw that when she wasn't there, I literally sat up and said, Rhea Ripley! But Rhea Ripley down to the Australia, because if they fucking make this damn crown jewel all around Rhea Ripley like they did that other pay-per-view, it's going to be a rough-ass time down to the crown jewel. It's going to be a rough-ass time. You understand? Iyo Sky picked up the pinfall and she did her little head thing and everybody's doing it. They're just like, yay! And Paul Leveskin's like, look at my girl, she over. I don't know. But I tell you what, she might make it through Backlash, but she damn sure gonna drop that title in Perth. That title gonna get dropped. And guess who's gonna get it dropped to? Rhea damn Ripley. Moving right along, Nebraska head football coach Matt Rule is in the house. So if you know who Matt Rule is, and he's the football coach. Fourth match, Rusev versus Otis and the Alpha Babes. I'm not calling them Alpha Academy because they have shirts that say the Alpha Babes. So what the fuck? It's a couple of things here that I got questions, cousins. I want answers. First of all, I might have missed this somewhere. Because when I got up off the bed, I said, okay, let me see what this match is going to do. So I set up this time because I got tired of rolling off on the bed and passing out on my carpet. So Rusev has come back. He is clearly a heel and a redeemer, whatever the case may be. Why is he fucking up the Alpha Babes? What the fuck did Otis do to be abused the way he's being abused in this match? I was looking at Otis and Rusev match wrestle, and Otis's thigh is one big fucking muscle. I think people think Otis is fat and like just out of shape. Isn't he a power lifter by like sport? I couldn't suspend my thought process here because this is an even match. The accolade. All fucking Otis had to do is take his hands off of Rusev's legs and fucking headbutt that motherfucker in the mouth. Headbutt him. Now, they fight in whatever case. Rusev won because he put an accolade on it. And then he left and put another accolade on it, right? And so Akira Tozawa was like, you're not going to whoop up my friend. I'm going to whoop your fucking ass. Get in the ring. Rusev was like, fuck this. Walked off. Akira Tozawa turned around and attended to his friend. Rusev ran back into the ring and proceeded to fuck Akira Tozawa up and powerbomb him into Otis. Then he put Otis back in the accolade. My problem is you got this goddamn Maxine Dupree over here crying. Bitch, don't you got boots on? What are you doing? Get in the ring and kick that motherfucker in the head. Because Maxine was crying. I had to endure looking at Natty Neidhart's cat lips and Botoxed face for more than 2 seconds. And I don't feel like I have to endure shit like that. You understand? What should have happened was Maxine get in that ring and roundhouse that motherfucker. Do a caterpillar over there, something. What? I don't understand. Anyway, I just want to know why this is happening. I don't understand why the Alpha Babes have to be handled like this for Rusev to get introduced back into the fold. I don't like it. I don't like it. And somebody needs to really take Adam Pearce to the goddamn HR because people on his show get injured and fucked up too much and he comes out late, delayed, and dumb. You better let him go. You better let him go. No, you better get something going on and get me some goddamn security. Moving right along, we go into the Gunther, Pat McAfee, Adam Pearce segment. Now, Adam Pearce, after all of that, he said, you know what? Pat McAfee, get on in the ring. Ain't gonna be no security, okay? So get in the ring, get your mic, and Gunther, you come on down here. Now, you better not put your hands on Pat McAfee tonight. You understand? Now, I done went ahead and find you now. You better stand in this ring and let this motherfucker talk shit to you. And Gunther said, you know what? I'm a professional. I ain't going to choke this motherfucker out today. I'm going to choke his ass out Saturday. So I'm going to let him breathe and I'm going to let him talk shit to me. And that's exactly what Pat McAfee did. He talked shit. He bigged up the crowd. He talked about the football. He talked about the baseball from the 1950s. He talked about how Gunther ain't shit because he beat up a 60-year-old man who had an opinion, Michael Cole. He talked about how Nebraska got the best meats and how he liked to eat the meat is fat and thick and juicy and he liked to put it right betwixt his mouth because it's so succulent, the meat that Omaha, Nebraska is known for. He said, Gunther, you've been champion 80% of the time. You don't know what it's like to get fucked up. And I think you dropped the ball. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to whoop your ass. And Gunther essentially said, you know what? I'm going to play along with your ass, Pat McAfee. I'm going to actually pay attention to you. Because what I want to do is I want to look in your face when your eyeballs is popping out because I'm going to choke the fucking life out of you. I'm going to slap the skin off your chest. I'm going to slap the skin off your back. I'm going to take that weak ass, what's little left of that fucking blonde hair, I'm going to scalp you. I'm going to kick you in the balls and your nuts is going to go in your throat. I'm going to fold you up and I'm going to stuff your ass in a box and mail you back to whatever fucking football team you was playing for, bitch. You understand? And the only way that it's going to stop the pain that I'm inflicting on you is by the grace of God that he could come down and pry my goddamn arms, hands, feet, legs, balls, ass off of your throat. And that's the way the segment ended and Gunther shoved Pat. And when he shoved Pat, Adam Pearce was like, hey, like, Adam, listen, you already put Pat in danger for even calling him in here after you had that whole bullshit segment where the other guy got injured. John Cena, Randy Orton package, because you know what? We got to have it. We got to know that these two motherfuckers is going to be down to the backlash, and they're going to be moving 2 miles an hour, so you better get ready. Roxanne Perez is talking to Finn Balor backstage. Becky Lynch is going to be on the Raw recap, so I don't know if y'all went back there and watched her go on and on and on with them two ugly motherfuckers that hosted. Next week on Raw, we're going to have Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley, and they will fight Julia and Roxanne Perez. So they saved a spot for Rhea because Rhea was supposed to run out for the save. See, I told you. Iyo Sky. Bitch, you ain't never getting away from Rhea Ripley. You understand? I hope you realize that. Also, AJ Styles will be colliding with Finn Balor, and the War Raiders are going to clash with American Made. That is going to be a very double ugly match. Ooh, we can't wait. Final match, main event. Jey Uso, it's just me, oosh, coming to the stage. Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker doing a thug fizzle. There was actually a backstage segment when after Paul Heyman did all that yelling and screaming, looking a hot fucking mess, he went on backstage to celebrate with Seth and Braun Breaker. And Seth Rollins said, "Didn't I tell you? I told you so." And Braun Breaker was in awe. He was like, "That's why I'm following the second best wrestler in the entire WWE. That is why I'm following Little Brother, because he's so smart." And Paul Heyman said, "Listen, look at me. Look at this tan melting off my face. Me and you, we got some of the best tans in the WWE right now. And with Seth Rollins, we are going to take over the tanning industry. Do you understand, Braun?" And Braun was like, "Oh my God, I have so much tan on. It's under my nails." And I was focused on Paul Heyman's thumb. If you want to go back and look at something, go back and look at the backstage segment and look at Paul Heyman's thumb. Looks like it's dislocated from his whole hand. With that being said, the match is going. Listen, Seth Rollins, he going to give you a match. Seth Rollins bought a very good match to Jey Uso. He did. Jey Uso took a Falcon Arrow. I love when Seth Rollins does that. Run, jump on the turnbuckle, do a suplex, roll into a Falcon Arrow. I love it. I love it. I thought Jey was going to do some things because he put them goals in his mouth. He put them gold teeth in his mouth, and them goals got main event all in them with the diamonds sparkling and dancing. Nope. He was getting his ass whooped. You hear me? And a lot of it was just them kind of laying around and breathing and stuff. Now, this is the part. Where I knew something was coming out. I actually thought Logan Paul was coming out, but I was completely wrong. So Jey had Seth curb stomped Jey. So I was like, "Oh, that's it. Let's do it." No. Seth was bullshitting, and he could have pinned him. No, he had to ease over there. He was all of a sudden, we get CM Punk has returned. He has returned. Karma has returned. He whooped Braun Breaker's ass with the chair. He whooped Seth Rollins' ass with the chair. Braun Breaker rolled in the ring, got hit with the chair. He rolled out the ring. Seth Rollins tried to roll in the ring, get the chair. He rolled out the ring. Okay. Sami Zayn was there. Sami Zayn came out all taped up and stuff because he got to help his oosh. Right? Let me tell you, Braun Breaker running around giving out all kinds of fucking spears. That was a weak ass spear he gave Jey Uso though. And the show ended with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman walking up the aisle, cussing and carrying on. And in the ring was, what's his name? CM Punk. Jey Uso's in the corner, scared, and Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn ran over to see what was going on with his oosh. And they was holding each other and everything, making sure everything was fine. And CM Punk is holding up the chair. And that is the way your Raw ended. That's the way it ended. So a couple things. Word on the street is Gunther versus Pat McAfee is making way for Gunther versus Goldberg. Who the fuck wants to see that? All I know is Gunther better be standing tall and Pat McAfee better be bleeding, okay? The one time Pat McAfee showed up and showed out was in NXT when he punted Adam Cole. That shit was funny as fuck, and Adam Cole sold the hell out of that. Okay? Is there anything to go back and watch? Nope. You go back and watch that whole segment and look at Paul Heyman's thumbs. But there's no replay value here. So I was kind of confused when everybody was like, this was solid. It was boring as fuck. The main event was fun, but you can see the highlights on YouTube. I wouldn't tell you to go sit through no 3 hours, 2 hours and a half just to get to that. Oh, please. Please. Before we wrap it up, look out for CM Punk versus Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker down to one of the pay-per-views. And apparently, word on the street is what's going to happen is Roman Reigns is going to come back and he's going to take Sami Zayn's place next to CM Punk. And we're going to just do this whole thing again over and over and over. Okay? Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Oh, before I go, at the end, this was not on TV. So Jey Uso celebrating and he's moving through the crowd and all of a sudden he get knocked the fuck out by Logan Paul. Now, I forgot to mention last week, he was in the hallway doing something and Logan Paul knocked him the fuck out too. Now, I'm not really understanding why Jey Uso getting laid out the way he is. I think we're going to need Jimmy to come in and slap the shit out of Logan Paul one good time and get his mind right. Because he got the shit fucked up. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, I'm gone. I ain't got no more. And I don't want to sit here rambling. Deuces.